I am Nahid Kabbani, and this is the Lighthouse for today's viewers. On March 18, 2006, I announced the integration of my non-profit organization, One World Org, in a celebration event at the Monrovia Holiday Inn. The mission of this organization is promoting global harmony, creating cultural understanding and friendship amongst the diverse ethnic communities in the United States to have access for love and peace. My TV show, The Lighthouse for today's viewers, is a major project for One World Organization. Today's show presents scenes of the event. Let's watch it together.
My name is Nat Nadar. I'm a Human Relations Commissioner from the city of Pasadena. And it's my pleasure and honor to be here tonight. And on behalf of One World, I welcome you once again. About 30 days ago, I did not know anything about One World or Nahid Kabbani. And as destiny is meant for people to come together for a reason, I had the pleasure of meeting Nahid about 30 days ago. When I spent about half an hour talking to her, it was as though we had known each other for many, many years. We have a lot of similarity from our philosophy about human rights, justice, equality, and truly thinking of each human being as God-given children to this earth. And I'm so proud to have met her and learn about her philosophy and what One World stands for. And I'd like to thank all of you who are here tonight to truly listen to the messages that are given to you tonight, because we are all living on this earth for one purpose, for peace and harmony. Even though we're living in a very troubled world today, we are the ones who must take charge with the One World and do something to make a difference in this world today. And if you have children and grandchildren, you have to say to yourself, we are committed for our biggest assets, who are our children, and they are the future of the world. And we must do whatever we have in our power to make sure that they do grow up in an atmosphere of peace and harmony. The programs that the One World has planned, one of them is here tonight, and they have many other programs that are going to take place throughout the year. But one lady, one organization cannot achieve what we're all trying to achieve. It requires all of us working together as a team to make sure that the reality of peace for all of us once becomes a true meaning of life for all of us. Expand on something that I think if you all think about it, it really makes a difference in your life. Life is a journey. At the end, each one of us will be judged based on our standard of life, not based on our standard of living. We are measured by our giving, not by our measure of wealth, by our simple goodness, not by our seeming greatness. If you look back and think of all the wonderful people that have come before us, every one of them who contributed to humanity for justice, equality, every one of them lived this motto. They were not out there to gain for themselves, rather than to give and sacrifice to bring peace and harmony for people throughout the world. And once again, we are delighted that you are here. And please, as you hear the messages tonight, make a commitment to become part of the One World Organization and support this organization as much as you can, because without you, this organization or other organization cannot function. As I've said before, and I'll say it again, it takes all of us working together as a family, as a unit. Because God created us not as different people, but with respect and dignity among each other. Doesn't matter what race, color, gender, nationality, sexual behavior, or anything else that you are, all of us are created equal. We're all people, we're all children of God. I truly believe in that. I've spent almost 35 years of my life working on this behalf, trying to work with people, trying to bring them together as a human being with respect and dignity. And having had the pleasure of meeting Nahi, she has the same philosophy. Doesn't matter where you come from, what is your religious belief, what sexual orientation, what gender, what nationality, what religion belief. We are one human being. And it's imperative that all of us tonight, when we leave these premises, to take that message with us. We came here as individuals, we leave here as family, as united for peace and harmony. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure at this time to welcome the President of One World, Nahi Kabbani.
Thank you, Mr. Nat. You did a great job. I need 10 years to stand and talk the same way he speaks. Thank you very much. Good evening, and thank you for coming tonight. I am proud and excited to see you here sharing with me the successful moments of announcing my lifelong dream, the non-profit organization One World as an Access for Love and Peace. Throughout my life, I was looking at the positives, trying to learn lessons and wondering why the world cannot act as one unit. Now that I am here in my new home, America, I am looking at the picture from the inside. What surprised me is that we don't see the fact that America is built up of ethnicities from all over the world, sharing the same rights and defending the same constitution. At this point, we forget that new immigrants who came from anywhere in the world still have roots and family they care about where they came from. They need to adjust to life in the new world, and we need to accept each other's differences. We need to communicate with each other on the human level as well as we communicate on the business and education levels. Each part of the world thinks differently, and in order to communicate together effectively, we need to learn to understand each other. This will lead us to find better solutions for all issues. Time only moves forward, and we cannot change history. We can only look forward. Yesterday was past. Today is in our hand, and it's up to us to write better history for tomorrow. Martin Luther King had a dream that became true because he believed in it. We cannot blame history or other people. We have to act and be part of the change. This is not easy. It is very hard to adapt to new ideas and change habits and beliefs we have always had. We should learn from others who made history in the past. God gave us the brain to use. Everyone has responsibility to, no matter what, how big or small it is. Feeling responsible guided me to work hard for what I believed in and drove me to plant the seed for better communication. My strong belief in what I am striving for and what we need kept me going, regardless of the long, dark tunnel that lay ahead. I am proud to be American I feel I have the power to fly like the bald eagle, regardless of my age, to give back to my community my knowledge from my roots and my experience to reach for peace, which is what we are all looking for. I am striving to make one world organization the world's first center for the people and by the people of all cultures. Success to me means for my organization to become the voice of all communities, to openly communicate as one family, sharing and caring, free from any pressure brought on by religious, government, or corporate, or special interest group, or any other organizations. Once achieved, this should become the access for the love and peace for the whole world. This is the happiest moment in my life, being with you, celebrating my 65th birthday, which is normally a retirement age. For me, I feel that I am born again. Thanks to this dream coming true, I am reaching to you, people of the same dream, to come along and put together all resources and efforts and work together, work through partnership, collaboratively for better future. Thank you.
She doesn't look 65, does she? No. It's really true. In order for us to achieve our goals and objectives, we must have a dream. We must have a vision. Without visioning something, things cannot take place. If you read the history and the background of Nahid, leaving Palestine at a young age, she had a dream. And tonight she's standing in front of you with a vision that has become a reality. The torch of peace has already burning through one world. But it's required each and every one of us here to make sure that the fire does not go out. I can repeat for a long, long time, because I have been involved for this most of my life. I also came from a country such as Iran, and I was blessed to be raised in a family that they did not teach hate, prejudice, violence, discrimination. They taught us about respect for fellow human beings. I encountered something in my life that really changed my life. I was 13 years old when I came to this country, could not speak one word of English, only had a letter of introduction. At the age of 14, when I left New York to come to California, we stopped in Texas by Greyhound bus. I stopped at a fountain to drink water. 4 Texans walked up to me, and at that time I did not know what Texans wear. Boots and hats and so forth. They called me a number of bad names. Again, I did not know what they were telling me, except the bus driver told me. Because I was drinking from a fountain that was supposed to be for white or black people. Would you imagine that? Almost about 55 to 60 years ago, you could not drink from a fountain. Water was being distinguished between white and black. That truly changed my mind, because when I got to California, ever since age of 14, I have been involved one way or another, working for peace and harmony for all people. But once again, Nat Nadar or Nahid Kabbani cannot do the job. It takes each and every one of us. We can commit to ourselves, or we can fool ourselves and tell ourselves that someone else do the job. It will not be done. Just like Dr. King, he had a dream, he had a vision. He never talked about himself, he never talked about one human being, he talked for all children of God. So you have heard Nahid today, and please, if you be so kind, when you leave here tonight, leave with peace and harmony, and have God in your heart and soul, and expand every single of your life, first with your family, then with friends and neighbors, about peace and harmony. And don't ever take steps back because you feel it might be different. You're not. You make yourself different if you feel that way. Every single one of you is a God-given gift. Every single one of you is precious, There is no one like you in this world, every one of you. Use that uniqueness, use that wonderful knowledge that you have, and believe me, we all are knowledgeable. But some of us cannot express better than others, but you are going to be heard. Do not hold yourself closed, open up. As you know, tonight not only is a moment that we all get together to know each other and learn more about one world, but we also like to honor some people who have also in the past have done very well to improve human relations among all people. And tonight we would like to acknowledge some of them. One person is here, the other 3 people are not here. First of all, we would like to acknowledge our sincere gratitude to Mayor Rob Hammond of Monrovia for his ongoing and outstanding pursuit of human relations in Monrovia as an individual. We also have, I believe, someone who's representing Mr. Jason Lewis from Kabbani. Okay, is he here? Okay. Mr. Lewis, if you're here, please come up here. Mr. Lewis? Please give a nice round of warm applause to Mr. Lewis. Please. On behalf of One World, I'm going to present 2006 Human Creativity, presented with pride to Mr. Jason Lewis in recognition of distinguished and devoted service as Assistant Director of Gala.mpg in Monrovia. Congratulations, Mr. Lewis.
I recognize a lot of faces that have been down at the studio, and I'd like to thank you for presenting us with this award. This is certainly for all of the crew that works at the station. We really work hard to empower people to speak for themselves through television, and Nahid is a great example of how people are able to do that, and we're more than happy to provide that opportunity.
Thank you so much. We also would like to express our sincere appreciation to Mustafa Akkad, who's not here tonight. Also, of course, each and every one of us know wonderful gentleman by the name of Mr. Peter Jennings, who really devoted his time and life to bring justice and peace through his news broadcasting on a daily basis throughout the world. If you'd be so kind, join me and give this 4 people once more a nice round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. All right, you're about ready to have a wonderful evening. I wish this place would be packed. I promise you next year, this place is going to be small because there are going to be so many people finding about One World and they cannot wait to get here. But once again, I thank you on behalf of Nahid for each and every one of you who took the time to be here tonight. And again, this is really a wonderful cause because everything begins somewhere. And this is the seeds that we planted tonight through Nahid and One World. And as you all know, in order for a seed to grow, it requires all of us to cultivate a seed, to water it, to take care of it, to nourish it, and make sure it bears the fruit that we're all after. And I'm not trying to be philosophical tonight by using verbiage such as seeds and so forth, but that's reality of life. You want a good fruit tree to grow, you need to plant good seeds. You need to cultivate it. They need sunshine. You need to be aware of it every single day. And that's what life is all about. Peace does not come cheap. It requires every single day of our life to work at it. And especially this young man right here, this is the future. And I really believe in that. Because we...
Again, thanks so much for coming. We've been invited to this wonderful occasion, and hopefully next time we'll see, of course, more and more people. I think it's worth it. It's a good thing. And the second number we're going to play is about love. It's by Muhammad Abdul Wahab, Egyptian composer from 1940s, and the title is the Gift of Love, which is it's an instrumental piece. The one we played before was an opening also from Egypt. It's a classical piece called Samari Form. It has 4 sections, and it was on 10/8 beat rhythm. And this is part of the mission in our ensemble. We're also a non-profit organization. We call ourselves Kan Zaman, and it means once upon a time. That's the music, the old music that we play. We try to preserve and educate and inform people about this type of dying artwork that not very much performed anymore in Cairo, in Syria and Lebanon. So we carried this with us here to the States, and we try to, first we enjoy very much playing this kind of music. It's very fulfilling, and it has a lot of value in it. And people who compose this music were, in their time, they were people like Mozart and Beethoven back in the Middle East, and Egypt and Syria particularly. Most of the music was composed at that time in Cairo and Aleppo, and you were the centers of. The first piece we played was from Cairo, the instrumental piece. The second piece, I'm sorry I'm turning my face to the side because I'm afraid the audio is going to slip, so forgive me. The second piece was from Aleppo, Syria. It was composed also around the 1940s by Ibrahim Arian was the Egyptian guy. I think the Amar al-Batsh was the Syrian guy. The number we're going to play is from the 1940s. It's by Muhammad Abdul Wahab. He's one major composer. Started his career in the 1920s, even earlier, and he added a lot of elements to Arabic music, changing some of the beats and changes, influenced by Western music, and you can hear this through his music. The last piece we play also by a famous composer that lived for 31 years, but he has a treasure of compositions. His name is Sayyid Darwish. And there are 2 light pieces. He composed many light pieces for, so they're in a scale, on a major scale, so it'll be easy probably for you to hear and understand it. Talking about music, I also like to welcome Ustaz Joseph Sham'a معنا in the back, sitting there. So Ustaz Joseph. I just happened to see one of the magazines on the chairs that has an article about him. Check it out. It's he's an important musician, and he's a wonderful violinist from the old generation. I don't know if he's going to play it tonight, but it'll be pleasant to hear him playing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You're a wonderful audience for our music. I think we need to step out of the stage to give a chance to some other performers and musicians tonight. I'd like to introduce the ensemble members Maurice Saba on violin, Yes Tama, violin, Nabi Ismailat on nai, the slate flute. My name is Wael Rafish, I'm playing the oud. Ghazi Zaidan on vocal, Sam Masoudi, on rep Rashid Khazan, and the Drubaki or the Jish Tabla Bassan Tahan. Also, would like to thank this beautiful gentleman behind me who's doing our sound, David Wahab. David, thank you, Nahid, so much for inviting us, and hope to see you soon. Thank you again.
Now I'd like to introduce a very famous and renowned musician. He's an Egyptian native. He joined the Egyptian Broadcasting Orchestra in 1958 as the first violinist, prior to joining the Fairmont Orchestra in 1960. He went on to tour with the group and also with the Kabbani brothers in 1971. He joined with the Catholic University and was invited along with the Catholic chair to the Vatican to play with the Pope. In the mid-80s, he immigrated to the United States and teamed up with the New Valley Symphony Orchestra as a first violinist and performed in the CBS hits Murphy Brown and The Young and the Restless. Recently, he teamed up with the Mesto Orchestra with the continuous his mastery of the violin. Please, all of you, help me welcome Joseph Shaman. starting with Dr. Musa and Suhaila Nasser, who started a wonderful charity to help children who are victims of war and violence. It's called the Palestine Children's Relief Fund. They're not here tonight, but please give them a round of applause, Dr. Suhaila Nasser. Next is Mrs. Sherry Reuter. She's the Vice President of Women Conversion of the World. Obviously, she has her own language. Or fusion.
Celebrate with all of you the beginning of this wonderful organization. Women's Federation for World Peace, for the past 18 months, has been involved in the Women's Middle East Peace Initiative. And through our efforts, we had a signature campaign, and our goal was, by December 10th of this past year, 2005, to have collected 1 million signatures. December 10th is the day that the United Nations celebrates their International Human Rights Day. By December 10th, we had collected 10,800,000 signatures from 38 nations. So we're very excited to celebrate the victorious end of our signature campaign and to continue to work with women around the world who can love other people's children as if they're their own, with that kind of heart, with a mother's heart, to really work for peace in the world. So I'm really honored, and I want to thank everybody, and especially Nahid, and I know that this organization will grow and really become a significant voice and force for peace in this world. Thank you.
Now I would like to introduce the lady who will receive the award on behalf of Rosa Parks Human Rights Award and Dr. Martin Luther and Coretta Scott King. This lady is president of the United Nations Association USA Pacific Los Angeles chapter and award-winning international film and TV producer. For many years, she served on special committees at the United Nations, working for women, children, and human rights worldwide. Please help me welcome Ms. Norma Foster, please.
Good evening. First of all, I want to congratulate Kabbani for having the vision and the heart to start an organization called One World. But always, one world begins with one step. And tonight, on her birthday, she's taken a big step in the right direction to make the world one world of peace and love. So I congratulate you for that. And also, I'm very honored to accept this award on behalf of Rosa Parks. I'm very privileged to know her and to work with her. And she was my very special friend and has a wonderful place in my heart even today. And Coretta Scott King, I never knew Martin Luther King, but all the human rights things I've worked on throughout the world, my heart was where his was. And I know everyone in this room cares about human rights. So tonight I'm very honored to accept this award on behalf of both of them, because they are the examples of what love and peace is in the world. Thank you very much.
And now, they're not with us here, but the St. Jude's Children's Hospital, it's It's really a legendary organization that takes care of children in various hospitals, treating children with leukemia and other childhood diseases. So please give a big round of applause for St. Jude's Hospital, which was founded by Danny Thomas, a famous And next is a lady who's part and parcel of Palestinian organizations called Palestinian American Women's Organization. She's not with us. Her name is Mary Hart. Please give her a big round of applause. And now I'd like to introduce a lady. She's a special friend of mine. She's a go-getter. She started something on her own when everybody told her you're not going to make it. But now she's the executive director and founder of Access California Services. Please help me welcome Ms. Nahla Kayyari. Now, I would like to introduce an award for appointment moment. We lost a very dear friend of us and a leader in the community, the president of SAWA, the Syrian American Women Association, Dr. Sausan Abdin Khosi. We lost her, but we have with us her husband, Dr. Mahmoud Khosi. So if you please give him a very big round of applause.
It's my honor to receive this award on behalf of my beloved wife, Sausan, who work hard to give the hope for the deaf children, and this award will convince me more and more to keep her organization and her dream alive. Thank you very much.
Last but not least, the age-old Arabic prophet, Khalil Gibran, one of the most accomplished writers in the United States. His books sold in the 20th century more than many books at that moment. However, we don't hear much his name because maybe his ancestry. But please give a big round of applause to the famous poet and writer, Lebanese American Gibran. Now, ladies and gentlemen, drum roll. Okay, now I'd like to introduce to you the famous and exotic Lebanese dancer and choreographer, Nabila. this powerful performance by Nabila, I would like to introduce you equally powerful performance by singer Eddie Cunningham. Big round of applause, please.
Thank you very much. Pleased to be here, and I'd like to thank Nat for having me and for you. And this is a song There must be some kind of shelter far from all the violence and the tears, where our sons and our daughters won't always have to live their lives in fear. So many children wounded, there's the good and bad collide. Some get lost and some get angry, but no one tells them why. Why do we always wonder why so many have to die? Oh, why when even God must want to cry, looking down from heaven's eye? Some kind of reason every time a mother's teardrops have to fall, and we bow our heads in prayer. We don't understand this world at all. There is wisdom in my weakness, and in the darkness lies the truth. If we want peace for everyone, it starts with me and you.
Thanks, Eddie. That was powerful. Appreciate that. Big hands to Eddie Cunningham, please. And now, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, we have a prestigious award honoring on behalf of the Gold Star Families Organization. The award will be received by honoring Sally Marr and Peter Dudar for making the movie Arlington West. Please give a big hand of applause to Sally Marr and Peter Dudar. They made a powerful movie against the war. All decent humans should be against the war.
Yes, we're just getting ready to go to Italy. In Bologna, they're having a human rights festival. They're bringing people from all over the world who are making films to stop wars and to have just a better world. So we're going there, we're opening the film festival with our film. I don't know if anyone's seen it, we brought one tonight, and anyone that wants one, we'd like to give you one. So you can give it to a teacher. We take these into schools, we show them, and at the end of the screening, the kids walk up to us and say, after seeing your film, I just changed my mind about joining the military.
All right.
So for every American child that doesn't go over there, 60 Iraqis get to live, because the soldier told us for every American one that goes down, 60 Iraqis die.
And also wanted to mention, we never know, these are our neighbors and our friends that are our own victims, creating more victims abroad. We have a survey that we run after the film. The film contains 83 interviews with soldiers and parents who have lost their children. And how many of you heard about what Cindy Sheehan did this last summer?
Yes.
How many of you heard about that? Can I see the hands? A few of you know, okay. Well, we went to Camp Casey and filmed there while she waited for the president to meet with her from his plantation. So there were many parents who poured forth. And these Gold Star parents are probably the most important voices in this country now to help wake up their fellow Americans about what is happening to our children and what they do to other children and how they will feel after doing it. And so many of these young men and women are now homeless. That's right, at 23 years of age, we have homeless vets from Iraq. So, thank you so much. Please share the film with a teacher if you know one, and get it to them. They'll screen it in their class, and you will watch amazing things happen from their hearts. They change. Thank you. And the very best, to name this new organization One World, that's all of our dreams. One World, oh my, she should write a song, One World, and we'll sing it next time.
You will help me with that. We will do it together. Thank you for making our night tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. On behalf of all people who lost their kids, their families at war, any place in the world, on behalf of those people, we give this award to Peter and Sally for their effort, to thank them, to say thank you.
And to George W. Bush and all those pseudo-Christians who want war, I would ask them, does Jesus want war? That's all. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to bring a very powerful singer. Big hand to Louisa.
Song to bring peace to the world through the music for everyone. It's not just the music,
Music makes everyone forget their pain, to forget their sorrows, to forget the people hurting them. The music is something when you listen, you think, wow, I'm in another world. I'm in a peaceful world.
Forget forever.
I hope that you had a good time. If you like to know more about One World Organization, please visit our website at www.oneworldorg.com. Thank you for watching. See you next time.